Okay, this is the next series in the course on fundamentals of email sequencing or email list building or email sales, however you want to put it. It's all the same. The idea that we're going to take away from here, again, kind of like everything else that we're going through, is you want to be able to look at everything as a um, everything is an element within the template, right? And it is. Not really sure what's going on. All right, so here, this is a real basic template. I mean, there's no reason to go overboard, especially starting out. The less is best, in my opinion. So this is a new customer setup email template in the MailChimp platform. And this is the first email in a series of 18, 19 emails in the chain that's going to that's auto-triggered to run to people in order to use the systematic approach of give, ask approach. And I mean, I think everybody's heard of that in different ways. It's all about giving value before you start asking for them to give you something back. You have to build the trust. Once again, we're going back to the 7 to 9 touch points that we have to have in order to build that trust with someone new. So in order to get there, we're using two things, and those two things are our emails and our retargeting ads on, right now, just Facebook. Now, let's take a couple things away from this real quick. I'm not going to go into how to build one of these. I mean, this is some basic drag and drop type stuff, editor that you have here. So you're able to drag and drop. What I do is I usually just go ahead and get my basic layout of like how I'm going to store my text and my fonts and sizes and colors and my logo and my footers, information. I go and get that done, and then I just replicate out, and then just do like a document drag and drop. So what I mean by that is, everything I do kind of goes back to, writing everything on a text document. So in order, for mine, this is some emails I wrote for you guys, for this course. You can see there's several in here, and I'm just warming you up. I'm giving you information, asking to join a webinar here. Obviously, this isn't the necessary sequence that's being done, or that you received, or whatever, so on and so forth. Everything's contingent based on mixing the elements and trying and testing and getting better data. But what we're looking at is different ways of saying all these different things, and I've got my basics written out here. And I'm injecting their name, and obviously if we don't have the option of them putting in their name, that's going to mess up this whole sequence here, which it looks pretty shitty when you get like a hey, and then you see like a dash, like an empty space and a comma, because that like the JavaScript isn't being rendered right here. So there's always ways to clean it up. But anyhow, the idea is that you take your ad text and you're just dropping these in here. This is your subject line, which you're going to have to add on later. But in the email template itself, this is the information that we're putting in here. So in this campaign, let's go back. So in this campaign, we have, and this is all new. This hasn't been run or tested or anything just yet. So we have multiple emails in here where we're running sleep tip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And while we're doing that, we're using our hard sell copy email templates here. And you can also see that we have another step within the process, step 14, which is a discount. And we give them a discount code to help convince and convert. It's all about convincing and converting. So here again, this hasn't been done, so don't even look at that. All right, let's look at this one. This is going to be one of our hard sell email templates that's going to be generated out using the same template with the logo and the header. Obviously, the footer, we have the same stuff here. Here in the middle is where we're changing out our elements. We're drag and dropping images of the actual product, giving them some call to actions: buy now, get better sleep now, get lights out now. So we've got 3 calls to action on this email. I like it. We've got some information on it, because this is the first time that we're really hitting them with an ask of getting them to check this product out. Now, we've warmed them up to this product throughout this process, but actually getting to the process of asking for the hard sell, we haven't done. So this will be one of, say, 3, 4, 5, it depends on how long our chain and our acquisition process, timeline is and process. We would then, build out the chain to fit accordingly. So everybody's is different. Some people, you can have depending on your product, depending on what kind of pain it solves, whether it's, the immediate gratification, or even in this case with this course, it's not immediate. You can get immediate results. Certainly you can implement the things that we're talking about now in the fundamentals course, but until you really get to the high level advanced stuff and you start learning how to replicate this stuff back and you practice on your own, you're not able to do it. So, or not as proficiently, or it may take you a lot longer than it would take someone who does it on a daily basis. So anyhow, the idea is you build out the sequence, you test it. We're going to test every element of this campaign. Okay, we're going to test this. We're going to test this image. We're going to test, the product image here. We're going to test the color of this buy now button. We're going to test it against multiple buy now buttons. We're going to test it against different. We may put get better sleep now up here instead of buy now, and move buy now to where get better sleep is. So, depending on where we move these things and how these things are laid out, is going to all matriculate down to our bottom line, which is our sales conversion ratio, which on the last campaign that we looked at on the fundamentals landing pages, we saw that we were getting about a 3% conversion ratio. And that's, once again, using both emails like this, and email this, as well as using our Facebook ads to retarget based on the event. And everything is event driven in what we do. I think that's important to kind of go ahead and start pointing out now. I should have gotten into it earlier, but nonetheless, a lot of what people are going to do, so let's say we've served up our tips, this person, they come to the first, hard sell email in the chain and they buy. Well, there's no point in keep sending them this. They're going to be excluded from this list. They're going to be put on a different list so that we can keep selling them products. We can offer them promotionals. We can hit them with discounts at certain times of the year when we're running slow. We know they need to re-up. I mean, we're looking at the LTV, the lifetime value of a customer. That is what is important here, because only then can we understand what's the return on our investment, our ROI. And we'll get into that later, but the idea between how our returns and how we're able to convert here in every step, in every element of the 3 components of our cold conversion hacking system is going to count for positive, negative, a winning campaign, a losing campaign. So again, here we're going to build out. The idea to take away from this is when you build out your templates, you want to just get you something easily replicable. Don't be fancy. I mean, who cares? I mean, I'd even go without any images, because it's going to get into more mailboxes and get less chance of rejected or flagged or any of that other stuff. And what we want to do is we're just trying to get our message in front of them. We're trying to just, even if they don't click on the email, we just want to let them know we're here, and to keep that constant pressure on them, whether they're just clicking their inbox one by one to delete every day. We want them to see it, and they're going to see it, and that's going to count towards that 7 to 9 touch points for our branding in order for us to convert. So again, here let's point out that everything's an element. Let's keep it simple, and let's build out so that we have at least a 15 to 21 day run on this sequencing. And again, sequencing is, we'll get into automations and how we daisy chain these emails in order for get the user that's come in on our leads list at the top of the funnel to matriculate down into a sales conversion. And once they go to sales conversion, they come off of this list. Whereas people who have not matriculated through, they just get repeated in this process and tumbled over and over and over again. And obviously, as your business grows, as you grow, you're going to want to, come in here and have 30 steps, 40, 100 steps, 200 steps. It doesn't matter. I mean, have an email for every day of the year. I mean, it all depends on you and what your needs and your sales timeline and your pipeline, all that stuff. I mean, how long does what you have, what is the shelf life? And what's the inventory turnover ratio? So when you start understanding how long it takes you to make the sales, then you can tune all these elements on these campaigns. You can then say, hey, this works, this doesn't. Maybe I need to do 6 gives, then an ask. Maybe I only need to run it Monday through Friday. Maybe I only need to run it Tuesday through Thursday. Maybe I need to run it Tuesday through Thursday and then again on Saturday and Sunday. Or maybe just then again on Saturday and not Sunday. Right? So it all comes down to testing. It all comes down to understanding what the data returns. And we'll get into that. So right now it's, just looking at it just from an element process, we want to be able to build these out so that we have a lot of things to play with. And we're just taking sales copy. I mean, you can get someone on, Fiverr to write you some sales copy that you can take and use in here. Some medium grade type stuff where, the intent is not necessarily for them to read it, but then just to keep that brand constant messaging hit to them, and then use your hard sales campaigns to get them intrigued, to get them to buy, and get them to convert.